My name is Dr. Jody Stone, and I'm a professor of teaching and science education here at UNI. And my colleague is
Dr. Lynn Countryman, and I'm the interim director at Malcolm Price Laboratory School, which is legislated as Iowa's Research and Development School.
We've got a lot of information to present today, and we're going to have to give it to you in pieces, but basically we're going to be dealing with two segments: innovations in education and research in education.
And we're going to go back and look at engaging service.
Okay, we'd first like to talk about the Community Main Street Project, also called Project Merge, and our advanced speech class worked quite extensively with this project. And basically, they wanted to, the old-fashioned speech class, you wrote a speech, how to tie a tie, and you stood up and you showed everybody that speech, and it was so contrived, and those days are over. So Mrs. Hanna partnered with a couple of people on the Cedar Falls Main Street and came up with the idea of helping them to kind of sell the idea of Main Street. And pretty soon there are 3 or 4 businesses that were interested turned into 15 or 20, and the students were so professional. They interviewed them all, they prepared their questions, their photography was phenomenal. And
so the speech is really about visual and auditory communication. And we have become such a visual community and society that this is great 21st century skills.
And I think are we gonna be able to show one of the videos there? You can see most of them on the Cedar Falls Main Street webpage, but I think we've got one ready to show right here. The students were learning the fine points of speech while they were doing a service for the city, and it was beautiful.
Notice.
I am Scott Gall. My wife Sarah and I are the owners of the Runner's Flat. We see ourselves trying to continually increase people's awareness of what you can do to be healthy. Our real goal here in town is to hopefully encourage and help grow and perpetuate a healthy lifestyle community where people are active and they like to be outside and do things. And from that point of view, at our store, the goal is to really bring in people as customers, or when people come in, help them get into the right type of shoe that fits them well, that's going to keep them healthy, so that they are getting encouraged and they continually stay healthy, and maybe they bring their friend next time and do that. So we're hoping to increase longevity of the store, but also increase that because we're helping facilitate this healthy community that's always going to be here.
Meyer, and I've been here on Main Street since 2010. I opened up Field of Yoga at that time, and it is our community's first yoga studio.
Notice.
So there are a lot of people in our community that are looking
students really had to ask the owner and talk to them about what they wanted to show about how their business really tied into Community Main Street, because that was the focus of the whole series. And there are about 8 videos that you could see.
And before we leave, well, you can leave, Lynn, but I'll keep on talking. But one of the things that teachers of Iowa really need to think about is how you can assist areas in your community and teach your students at the same time, which is really the ultimate win-win situation. And this Community Main Street project is a perfect example. Okay, here's Sigrid.
Eliminated overly processed foods. Our program has also expanded to include composting and an outdoor learning garden, of which produce is used in our school lunch. We also try our very best to buy local to support farmers in our community. We know that you would agree that all children deserve this opportunity, but it comes at a tremendous cost. What do you envision for a plan to support schools who are currently utilizing or transitioning into a healthy school initiative?
And this is a little video that Sigrid prepared and sent to Michelle Obama as part of her visit here to Iowa for healthy living. And, you know, the video's posted on the CNN website, so it was quite well received. And we're proud of that. Sigrid's proud of that, and it conveys a message.
We want to talk about some of the J term, May term. We've been doing January term and May term for 3 years.
Yeah, I'd say. Lost track. But part of our impetus for doing that is really to repackage learning for those short amounts of time and focus on project-based learning. And we've had a lot of success in there. And we could talk all day about things that we've done, but we wanted to highlight a few of them here. And one of them is the Burunde project that Mrs. Hannah's working on, along with our French teacher and our biology teacher. And they've partnered together to actually prepare some teacher materials that are to accompany the book, Strengthen What Remains. And there's very high demand for that. And so it's a beautiful partnership, and I won't say more about that right now because they're right in the midst of it. But our last J term, when we were coming up with classes and the students were requesting that they learn certain things, we found that some of the best experts at the things students really wanted were our students. And so a couple of the examples we had was one of our teachers partnered with a student to teach a German class, and the student is an excellent German speaker. His family speaks German, and that was very successful. And he made his own lesson plans. We were impressed that he even knew what a lesson plan was, and he learned a lot in that 1 week period about what it means to teach and prepare and construct lessons. We also had 2 juniors that taught a class on video editing, and I actually took that class, and they taught it, and along with other students took the class, and they learned a lot about how to teach a class in that, and I can attest to that fact.
J term is really a term in January between first and second semester, where we have devoted several hours of time for about a week or week and a half, where kids can follow their passion, or they can get together and do a project together, or they can follow a teacher-selected topic, and then students can enter it at any place, and they usually develop very rich projects at the end, and they're all different. And that's really one of the focuses of this, is to get students to develop and engage in their own learning and direct their own learning. May term is the same type of thing. It's just in May. And we've tried to do this because we want to show schools how they can engage in project-based learning without totally fruit basket upsetting their schedule. Mm-hmm. They can take pieces of the time. One of the elementary J terms, they did a farm musical, and I just had an opportunity yesterday to see them present it again, and they were all dressed up in farm animals. They had a musical. They worked with the elementary music teacher to develop songs. They all had all of their verses memorized, and they had all of their dialogue memorized, and it was quite powerful. We should have a video up on that soon, but we don't have it yet.
And I might add, those elementary J-term classes they're grade mixed. Cross grade
grade
combined, which is a different arrangement.